Hello and welcome to Policy Bazaar. I'm Arjun Bhagat. Now, in our life, we strive to live in a bigger home, build a corpus big enough for a secure retirement, ensure we always have enough funds for our children's education or that extra money to buy a swanky new car. But what we do not realize is that one wrong financial decision and all our dreams can come crashing down before we know it. Thus, every financial decision that we make needs to be evaluated long and hard to ensure that every penny that we invest works as hard as we do. That's where the concept of diversification of our investment comes in. To explain to us its importance and how to go about it, we have with us Yashish Dahiya, CEO of Policy Bazaar, also its co-founder. Yashish, welcome to the show. Why is diversification in our finances so important?
So, I was once speaking to a banker friend of mine, and he explained a very simple thing. Any time in the world when something is going up or something is going down, something else is going up. And you can look at the proof of it. When all the crashes were happening, gold was going up. Today, when India is not performing, the dollar is strong. So, diversification is basically about staying in as many places as possible so that when something is going up, you can take the benefit of that. However, let me explain it a little more to the point and clearly. Why is it advantageous to do diversification? Whenever you make an investment, when a common person makes an investment, he basically has two options. One is to invest in a risk security, risky thing, or to invest in a non-risky thing. What is risk? Risk is fluctuations. So a stock market 1 year can give you a 50%, 70% return. Next year might give you minus 20% return. Third year may give you minus 30% return. But over the last 35 years, the stock markets have given about between 13 to 17% return on every 10-year tenure. Instead of that, one could go in and invest in a fixed deposit and get 8.5% every year. But when the stock markets give 70%, you'd still get 8.5%. However, when the stock market gives minus 20%, you'd still get 8.5%. That's a simple option. Everybody has that. But that's not diversification. Diversification would be you spread out sufficiently into all the years of the stock market. So some years you get 70%, some years you get minus 20%, but you are diversified enough that you work on the average. You don't work on...
That's an interesting way to look at diversification.
Absolutely. So,
So it's not just the product that you're talking about. You're also talking about the different cycles, whether it's financial securities, whether it's gold, whatever it is that you want to invest in.
You're in as many assets as possible. Actually, the market itself is in every asset because essentially the market is a reflection of all the assets which are publicly available for trading. So the market is essentially a market is what we in finance terms call the efficient frontier. The market is always at the efficient frontier. The efficient frontier means it is diversified enough to give you the best possible returns within that within that particular risk that the market is taking on. However, the diversification is also staying in it over multiple cycles because you're also diversifying over time. You're diversifying amongst assets. See, the market has gold stocks, it has infrastructure stocks, it has banking stocks, it has IT firms. So every time the dollar goes up, the IT firms go up. The oil companies may get hit because they have to import. So overall, the market picks up all these good and bad and kind of stays a bit stable over a period of time. And that is the concept of diversification. Allows you to have a non-risked 13% return rather than the 9% or the 8% that you would get in a fixed deposit.
So how would you break down this diversification? How would you actually categorize it? Apart from the risk, what are the inherent advantages?
Diversification, the biggest, so for every asset, there is a risk-return ratio. Diversification helps you to get a higher return with a lower risk because you are diversified in multiple risks. It is as simple as that. And as I said, diversification can imply investing over a long period of time, or it can imply investing in multiple assets, keeping some money in real estate, some money in some other stocks. However, real estate companies are also on the financial market. So what I have heard when people have a lot of wealth, one of the best options for them always becomes go and invest in exchange funds. That means they represent the entire exchange and as diversified as possible. And you can sit on it for the next 30 years, 40 years.
So let's look at insurance now.
Yeah.
And how would you look at diversification of your insurance investments or portfolio.
Absolutely.
So how would you look at that?
So see, whenever you are looking at a pension plan or anything long term, 20 years, 30 years, try to stay with the market. I think that we've mentioned many times. Try to stay with the market. If you're looking at short term, the guaranteed part is better because there you cannot diversify your risk because you've got a very short time frame. So you can stay with the fixed deposits, etc., or with the money back kind of plans. However, when you look at insurance per se, diversification also means covering all possible risks.
So that includes, say, your health,
Absolutely.
your pension funds,
Yeah,
your maybe a kid's education fund, insurance linked to that.
There are two, basically insurance is trying to cover your economic risks, right? Economic and physical risks. Now, you have the risk of not having money for a pension. You have the risk of not having money for your child's education or marriage. You have the risk, these are the risks that most people do not take care of. You have the risk of the health of the primary earner or the non-primary earner going down, because just because a person is non-primary member does not mean costs will not be incurred. You have the risk of a disability, one has the risk of death, one has the risk of a critical illness. And at least these risks need to be covered. Once these risks about the human being are covered, then one has the risks of a car having an accident or getting damaged and it being put back, or any asset, a home. If somebody has an expensive property, that getting damaged, or the home getting damaged. Imagine floods happened recently, right? So basically it's the human and his assets, and insurance is all about being able to put them back.
So what you're basically saying is that look at your life from a macro perspective and then go into the specifics of each aspect, which whether it's finances, whether it's your health, whether it's your, because at the end of the day there is that insurance component, and diversity of that is very important. That's what you say.
Diversity is very, very critical. Otherwise, because the same unfortunate event does not happen every time. To somebody, they may have a critical illness and may survive the next 10 years. Somebody may have an accident and may survive. Somebody may have an accident and expire. Somebody may have a health problem and a repetitive health problem. Somebody has just not planned for their pension and they are out of funds, and there's a saying these days that if you don't have 5 children, don't expect one of them to take care of you. So one can be out of funds in the pension situation. I have seen so many parents, and it's very sad when they cannot give the best start in life to their children because they haven't planned enough for it. So they're just out of funds. There is no way that they can afford that expensive education that
so this is a good point, this example that you've given, this illustration. So let's look at how to go about those investments. How do you actually diversify that risk? If you can give us examples of that.
Sure. So let's live through the life stage of an individual. A person comes in, is about 25 years old, does not have, and starts working. Somewhere people start working between 23 to sometimes 18 to 25 is when people start working. They start having disposable income about 25, some disposable income. That is the point when they need to start investing. It's one of the best times. The person needs to start a health insurance plan. That's almost the first plan all the time. And a person should take on a personal accident cover, because between 25 to 45, there's the highest chance of personal accidents. And in case a personal accident happens and the person stays alive, this is before a person even has dependents. They should take this on. They should also start planning for their pension. Where the pension will come. Whether they get married, whether they have kids, all that happens or doesn't happen, the pension will still come.
They will need that nest.
So they will need that nest. So they start planning for the pension. Now about 5-7 years down the line, they get married. As soon as they get married, they've got a liability. They need to include their spouse into their health insurance plan. They need to take out a term insurance plan. It may be a very basic term insurance plan to start with, because their income might still be quite mediocre compared to what it will become in the next 5-10 years. And they do not have to plan for the child yet. Now when the child is born, they need to suddenly think about, this child is one day going to go and study. Education is becoming expensive. And one needs to plan for that. That's when they start a second plan for the child. They also include their child in their health plan. It may also be that 5 years from now, their income has gone up quite a bit. They have taken on a larger term cover. At this point, they may also think about taking critical illness covers in addition. So the personal accident cover that they have, they might stop it. They might take it on as a rider into their base term plan, right? And this is how, by the time they are about 45, their portfolio is near complete. Now, if they have extra funds, all they are doing is adding on to that pension corpus, or so that they have a very a significant amount of corpus as they retire, or buying homes and all that stuff. But this is how one would plan. Between 25 to about 45 is when the insurance cycle should be completed, and by 45 or so, one should be totally covered. After 45, it becomes very difficult to get health cover. It becomes even difficult to get a term cover because, remember, the asset's going to be checked. The person who's getting insured is going to be checked. Medicals, eventualities happen later. It's much better to take it earlier on. I know people who are 25, 30 also, and especially in their early 30s, and no longer getting health cover because they've had one disease or the other, and they cannot get health cover, they cannot get life cover. So it's much better to start early.
Thanks, Yashish. Well, we have to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll take a couple of more questions from Yashish, and we'll also answer your questions. But you can also write to us at Twitter. You can write on at policybazaar_in, or you can email us at ask@policybazaar.com. See you after this break.
इसे कहाँ लगाना है?
मेरे मम्मी पापा के घर में।
इतनी दूर? Let's go.
वाओ, दिल अभी भी बाकी है।
Of course बाकी है। खुशियाँ बांटने से बढ़ती हैं, तो रुकना क्यों? Alto 800. Let's go. In India's most fuel efficient car.
इस दिन का सबसे सुहाना पल कौन सा है, क्या कहता है घर आ जाओ।
इंडिया बुल्स होम लोन्स, घर आ जाओ।
You're the first name on the list. You have earned your wings. You've acquired most acquired tastes. Those who matter know you. You're ready for Linen Club. Here the finest fibers are sourced from France and Belgium and crafted with the finesse of a diamond. Presenting Linen Club, exclusive makers of world's finest linen fabric.
ये कंगन खरीदने से पहले आपने BIS मार्क चेक किया था? तो फिर इसकी शुद्धता का क्या भरोसा? सिर्फ BIS ही असली शुद्धता का प्रतीक है। ये मार्क हर गहने की जांच के बाद सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अप्रूव्ड लेबोरेटरी ही लगाती है।
My Gold, My Right, a movement initiated by Kalyan Jewellers.
Hi, gorgeous.
We need to talk. Look, I'm not comfortable.
अने इतना कंफर्टेबल तो है।
ऐसा कब तक चलेगा?
दूर तक, सुपर माइलेज।
Stop. Just look at you. कभी तो सीरियस हो जाओ।
मैरिन।
You're not serious. You're so stupid.
बॉयज की लाइफ और माइस्ट्रो की राइड इजी है। हीरो माइस्ट्रो, सच अ बॉय थिंग।
Turn on style. Turn on the beat life.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Business Today lists India's top companies by market capitalization. In the Business Today 500, TCS extends its lead over Reliance Industries and widens the revenue gap over its IT rivals. Public sector units fall sharply in the rankings. Also read, another chapter opens in the Colgate scam. Read all this and much more in the latest issue of Business Today, India's #1 business magazine.
मम्मा मैं सिर्फ कार इंश्योरेंस रिन्यू कर रहा था बिना कंपेयर किए। Do you all buy insurance without comparing? PolicyBazaar.com पे जाओ, पॉलिसी साइड बाय साइड कंपेयर करो और पैसे बचाओ। PolicyBazaar.com।
रघुपति राघव राजा नॉन स्टॉप पारे आज की पारे सेलिब्रेशन तेरे नाम रघुपति राघव राजा रघुपति राघव राजा।
space, unmatched comfort, incredible fuel efficiency, superior features, and eye-catching style. Renault Scala. It's time to step up. Expect more, get more offer from Renault.
Welcome back to Policy Bazaar, and we are continuing our discussion on a diversification of your finances. Yashish, we're talking about this very important subject. What are the different products available for, insurance investments that one can make, our viewers can make?
See, investment is largely under two categorizations. One is linked products, where you invest with an underlying asset, mostly the stock market. And the second is where you invest in guaranteed return products. And there are a lot of blends of the two. I would say usually avoid the blends. Go for either the market linked or go for the guaranteed return products. In the guaranteed return products, use them for short-term or money-back kind of solutions, which are more 5-10 year oriented. When you are more than 10 years, I strongly urge everybody to go with the markets. The markets are much more likely to provide you a return. Most distribution in the country would not give you that advice, because as of today, most linked products have a far lower commission than the guaranteed return products. However, they are better for you. You've got to think about yourself as the consumer, and hence go with the linked products if you have a longer time frame than 10 years. So if the child is older than 6-7 years, then you can start going in for the guaranteed product. Otherwise, go for the linked product. If you are more than 10-15 years away from your pension, go with the linked product. Otherwise, go with the guaranteed product. Usually, do not mix investment along with any of the other covers in a serious way. So term and investment is not to be mixed up in a serious way. Term and health, investment and health should certainly not be mixed up. They should be separate plans.
Right, now it's time for viewers' questions. We've got Harish from Raipur. He says, I'm 34 years old, I'm married, and I have a 3-year-old daughter. I would request you to suggest a few investment plans with good returns to secure my family and also take care of my daughter's education and her marriage. My current salary is 75,000 per month, and I'm currently paying 1,10,000 of LIC premiums. Well, he's got some investments there, but he wants to get advice on his daughter primarily. That's what it seems.
So I think a child plan with about 15 to 20 year time frame is what the gentleman's looking for. Now, child plans can be constructed in two ways. One is you go for the specialized child plans, which have a lot of advantages in terms of waiver of premium riders. Basically, that means in case an unfortunate event happens, the premiums don't need to be paid any further. There is a family income benefit in some of them, where the family gets certain benefits. In most of these situations, in case an unfortunate event happens, the final corpus is still guaranteed, and the individual get the final corpus. So child plans are constructed with this particular mechanism in mind. Aviva has a very good child plan. ICICI has a very good child plan. HDFC has a very good child plan. So there are quite a few options out there. One should look at the child plan options. However, one may also make the same, construct the same kind of plan with a pure low-cost ULIP. So like the one that Aegon has, like the one that Aviva has, and there are a few other companies that have these low-cost. Bajaj has one. You could go in for one of these ULIPs for a period of about 20 years. Gives you a little more flexibility because you can exit at will. And I think your returns will be slightly higher. They're not fully constructed with all the child plan benefits, but they're very close.
Right, we've got Pratik with us from Bangalore. Go ahead, Pratik, with your question.
Hi. Last year I invested 50,000 rupees in SBI's Smart Performer plan, but currently the market is showing me a negative response and I see a negative value. So I don't know, is this a good plan to stay with, and what should I do now?
Yashish.
Yeah, I think one should certainly stay with the plan. This is the exact point I was mentioning. Diversification implies staying in the plan for 20 years, not getting hassled by 1 year or 2 years, because that's not what one invested in the first place. This is a good plan. Most ULIPs end up giving you a negative return, especially if the markets don't move much in the first few years, because they're front-loaded in terms of charges. Over a period of time, almost all ULIPs in the market operate within a 2% cost band. So your total cost is likely to be about 2% over the entire period of the product. So one doesn't need to get hassled. You will stay within about a 2% price band to the market, and you will get that return. In addition, this is the highest NAV guarantee product, so it does have that benefit specifically if it's down, it's beneficial to you because as it comes back up, you will get the highest possible return that it hits.
Right, we've got Radhika from Kerala, and she asks, can we claim insurance cover for misfueling if the fault is on the petrol station? I could not find any details on whether misfueling, of course, must be a diesel vehicle with petrol in it, or vice versa, and it's often a problem when it seizes the engine.
Yeah, so this is something they have to take up with the petrol pump. If it's a petrol pump's mistake, they got to pick it up with the petrol pump. I do not believe an insurance company would take liability for that. Because otherwise it would be very easy for the petrol pump to accept mistake if the petrol pump didn't have to face the consequences.
All right, we've got Dheeraj Verma with us from Mumbai. Go ahead, Dheeraj.
Yeah, I want to know whether I can claim money from the two medical companies. I have two Mediclaim policies with me. One is for my office, another one is for my personal insurance.
Right. Yashish, can you
So
claim both the policies?
let's take, first answer is yes. However, let's go into the details of how it used to work and how it works these days. So earlier the way it would work is, suppose an individual had two policies, one for 3 lakh rupees and one for, let's say, 2 lakh rupees. So he had a combined cover of 5 lakhs. However, assume that the claim the individual was making was a 2 lakh rupee claim. So in the ratio of 3:2, which is how his policies were structured, he would have to make a 1,20,000 rupee claim with one company and a 80,000 rupee claim with with the second company, and he would get paid by both companies in proportion to the sum assured that he has. Now both companies had their own different sublimits and co-payments and all that stuff, so that would be that. It was complicated. Now the way it works is you have two health insurance plans. You decide which one you want to file the primary claim in. So suppose you have the same, let's say you have a 4 lakh rupee claim and you've got a 3 lakh rupee plan and a 2 lakh rupee plan. You may choose the 3 lakh rupee plan, and with the 3 lakh rupees plan you will get paid up to 3 lakh rupees, and the remaining 1 lakh would have to be paid by the second plan, by the second insurance plan. The catch here is the first insurance plan will make the payout, only then will you claim on the second one after the payout has been made, because the first one may make some deductions, etc. So it becomes a longer process. Also, the cashless only applies to one of them. You can't take in general, the advice is do not take two health insurance plans. It does not help you as a consumer.
There's no inherent advantage.
There's no inherent. In fact, it adds complexity to your life, because when you have this claim, each insurance company wants you to claim from the other one. So it does cause a bit of a complexity. There's no point. Have one plan, have a sufficient plan.
Right, thanks a lot, Yashish. That's all the time that we have on this show, but you can write to us on Twitter. It's at policybazaar_in, and you can also write to us at ask@policybazaar.com. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.